Rescuers have safely found the two children who were swept away this morning when a dam wall collapsed at Malmesbury in the Swartland on the Cape West Coast. Gift of the Givers says residents in Dawsonsburg called to inform them that the dam had flooded, destroying a number of homes. Now, teams from the aid organization will assist the community with emergency humanitarian aid. And Ali Sablay is from the Western Cape Gift of the Givers and joins us live now to give us a sense of how things are looking on the ground. Thank you so much for your time this evening. You were on the ground and there must have been a lot of panic as the rescue operations continued.
Most definitely. This morning at 4:37, we received the first calls from the community when residents informed us the dam will burst, if we could please come assist them. We then at 5:07, we received another call from the Swartland District Municipality asking me please to open my WhatsApp to see the extent of the damage. We then found out it was two retention dams that have burst. The one collapsed in the morning and with the overflow of the water causing the lower dam also to burst its banks. When our teams got on site, it was total devastation. We saw communities' homes that was once on top being washed away to the bottom. People have lost all their belongings. The main roads have been washed away. The school, it's covered in the dam slush, covered in debris. Community members informed us that they do not know where to go, how to start their lives. The emotions were very high. And our main concern was to ensure that all the people are brought to a place of safety. All credit due to the local disaster risk management teams in evacuating people from those, especially the elderly, and moving them to a place of safety. We are very grateful to the principal and the education department for making the Riverland Primary School available to us to render that humanitarian aid. The main concern for the residents at the moment is where to next. As we left the scene about an hour ago, there was heavy downpours of rain. People are displaced. There is no electricity. There is no clean drinking water, as the main sewer line and pipes have been completely washed away.
And I suppose, as you say, where to now if, the rain persists and, of course, they continue, to be in danger. Let's talk about the vulnerability of that area right now. You were there. Give us a sense of how vulnerable they will be, especially in light of this dam bursting its banks.
With more rain coming down at the moment, the roads are very unstable, and the ground where some of the houses are, it's very saturated. In example, this morning we visited one home, and 3 hours later we could not walk in the same property because of the floor sinking in. So we hope people hear the call and see the danger happening at the moment. Speaking to one pensioner, she said when the water came down, her husband is asthmatic. The main concern was, as their furniture was floating around them, the main concern was getting their grandchildren to a place of safety. Their neighbor's car washed against their back door. We found many vehicles being displaced as well. The area at the moment, disaster risk management teams and the Swartland municipality and working with engineers from the city of Cape Town is moving around the area to see which areas are in danger and if there has to be evacuation, where to place the residents. We do know there are residents displaced. They are being placed in two of the big community walls. Thank God schools are closed tomorrow, and because many of the schools' property is covered in slush and with debris, and the schools were closed today. Going forward into the new week, the education department have taken that decision to see if they reopen the school. But at the moment, mop-up operations are taking place in terms of clearing up roads so that more emergency vehicles has access to the disaster area.
And when it comes, of course, as you say, there's, evacuation plans continue and the efforts continue in that regard. But what would you say are the most pressing needs right now that you are stuck with, especially when it comes to, some of those that you would have evacuated to some of these areas?
We are grateful for the speedy response from the municipality in making this community halls available. They have issued to family members, if you have elderly people, please place them in their community halls. Gift of the Givers teams have been on the ground to provide families with hot meals, with warm clothing, with blankets. People came there shivering into the lines this morning to come receive that aid, as there was nothing spared in their homes. They only came to the center in their pajamas. That's the only thing, the clothes they could they had on when escaping this current disaster. And the most vulnerable thing is places people cannot, in some of the homes, people cannot go back to their once property because the force with the water came down. It took off the entire property. And we see the extent of the force of the water coming down, of roads being washed away, of cars being swept on poles, people's structures lying which was once atop, lying on the other side of the municipality district. We could see the extent and the danger. If there's any more rain coming down, they can have on these families. We do know that there was a threat of a third dam that is also in danger of bursting its banks. But we do know the city engineers are on scene there, trying to see what they can do to ensure there's no further danger to these vulnerable victims.
Yeah, Ali, it sounds like a race against time. And as you say, quite a lot unfolding on the ground with officials having their hands full. And of course, one hopes that a little more people can then be able to get access to, clean drinking water, as you say. That's also becoming another huge need. But thank you so much for talking to us and for always responding to the communities that call on you. Do appreciate your time.